Kelraw looks in on Canada's national game, lacrosse. But the scene of action is Baltimore, Maryland, home of Johns Hopkins University, which produced last year's intercollegiate champion lacrosse team. And they love the game in Baltimore, where a match will draw 5,000 to 10,000 people. Lacrosse is not exactly the mildest sport in the world. The protective equipment worn by players is about the same as that worn for ice hockey. Those heavily padded gloves are necessary to prevent serious hand injury. But unlike hockey players, lacrosse players sport a padded helmet and face guard. You'll see why in a minute. The official lacrosse ball is slightly smaller than a baseball and is made of lively sponge rubber. And here's the reason for those helmets. The ball is handled with this heavy hickory cradle, and the object is to get it into the goal against the determined opposition of a 10-man team, all armed with the same weapons. Now let's watch some action in the game between the nation's two top college lacrosse teams, Johns Hopkins, defending champions, and the Princeton Tigers. The Blue Jays run onto the field sporting a 31-game winning streak. Here's how the action starts. The two centers face each other, holding the ball between their sticks. At the signal, each tries to get the ball out to one of his teammates, and the fastest game on 2 feet is underway. No player is allowed to touch the ball with his hands, and all passing is done with the stick. According to the rules, it is illegal to strike another player above the waist with your stick. But even that the game is not too far from the original Indian version, in which the object was to whittle down the opposition before paying much attention to the ball. As Princeton attacks the Blue Jay goal, you will note that the defensive man, number 81, uses a stick that is about a foot longer than that used by the offensive man. This gives him more leverage for throwing the ball and more reach for blocking shots. A brilliant pass attack carries the length of the 80-yard field and culminates in a score for Johns Hopkins as they take a 1-0 lead over the dangerous Princeton Tigers. After a goal, as at the start of each period, the ball is put into play with a face-off, and the Blue Jays take charge. Running with the ball presents the same difficulties as an egg and spoon race, plus the distraction offered by the opposition. Kelraw cameras slow down the furious action to give you a longer look at the passing, ball handling, and blocking, which are fundamental to the game, as Princeton assaults the Blue Jay goal and the Johns Hopkins goalie comes up with a perfect save. But the Nassau Tigers are eager to upset the champions and renew the attack with Captain Horn, number 19, cradling the ball to keep it in the net as he runs. He fakes the goalie out of position and whips a short pass to Griffiths, who bulges the cords to tie the game up at 1-1. In the second quarter, a Blue Jay midfielder provides a perfect demonstration of the shovel shot as he tallies to put Johns Hopkins in the lead. Seconds later, the Princeton stickman nets another nifty to tie up this seesaw battle between the nation's two top lacrosse teams. You can see why they say lacrosse has the dash of basketball and the crash of football as the Blue Jay tries to shake loose for a shot, then passes to a teammate who makes good a beautiful long shot in spite of the Princeton goalie's best efforts. The final period finds the upset-minded Tigers from Princeton on top of a 12-11 score and driving hard to stay there. Their hard charging and pinpoint passing proved too much for the Blue Jays, and a final tally seals the victory at 13-11 for Princeton over the national champion Johns Hopkins lacrosse team. This is Harry Wismer with Bob Wilson saying so long. Be with us again next week, same time, same station, when Telesports Digest will bring you the 77th running of the Kentucky Derby.